Okay, so the linebackers played poorly. There's no other way around it. In the plays I'm about to show, you can see plenty of bad run fits. It happens. But I think it's running away with this narrative that, like, oh, well, that means the defensive line wasn't that bad. No, the defensive line was pretty bad. Um, you're just watching time and time again guys getting washed down, getting shoved around, and you're not seeing plays behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, against a very porous BYU offensive line, they had 4 tackles for loss. Like, I stats don't tell every story. I'm a big proponent of that. I get it, but this is not a good offensive line. BYU ran almost at will through big chunks of this game, and that's not just because your linebackers aren't fitting. Like, I don't get me wrong, it's a real part of it. I'm not trying to minimize that at all. I'm saying the other side of it's getting overlooked because everybody's talking about the linebackers, and they're right. It was just a poor game. There's no they are they're more at fault than anyone. I'll say that. But this idea that they're alone in it is just not matching up to what I'm watching here. So I don't even know. Like, I just picked 3 plays here to start the second half. So we'll watch this. If I remember right, Jacob Lacey here gets washed down. Isaiah Coe doesn't do a bad job. Ethan Downs doesn't do a bad job. Then again, because I want to be fair, Danny Stutzman comes inside. Guard pushes him down. It clears a lane, and Rondell Bothroyd's left to kind of pick up what's left. It's not a good play. I mean, but it's guys not only out of position but getting whipped in their one-on-ones.
I think we're in for a treat second half.
So yeah, okay. So you've got Coe's doing a decent job. He's in the backfield. He's standing things up. Downs is taking a look. You've got Lacey 2 yards off the ball and just getting driven. Now he's in a double. I get it. And then
On the handoff, this is Robbins with a nice run.
That's a tight end, guys. I mean, like, that's picking on Stutzman. That okay. I don't care about Cougar tails. Wow, that could get clipped. I'm a little scared of that conversation. Okay. So here's the next one. Again, these are just successive plays here to start the second half. So let's. Yeah, this one was even worse.
My man is seeing if there's anything left in his over there.
Okay, so you've got Ethan Downs against, admittedly, one of the best offensive linemen in the Big 12. Kingsley Suamataia is Taya, something like that, is very, very good. And so Downs is going to get washed out. Here, Coe's going to get washed out. Here's Lacey going to get washed out. And then it's just Bothroyd. But because, and that's bad, that's a problem. Lord, sorry. We're getting a really long look at this guy. Okay, so watch the linebackers. Kanik, for some reason, is filling over here. I don't know. Okay, so there's 2 ways this goes. Either he's supposed to fill over here, and these guys are getting washed even worse than we think they are, and it's not some sort of slant, or he just doesn't read it right and is supposed to be up here maybe in like the A or B gap, because, I mean, these guys are way out to sea. Stutzman tries to fill, but there's just too much space there. Again, I mean, you can talk about the linebackers, and they weren't good enough. I'll say it over and over again. But you don't give up this kind of yardage to this bad of a rush offense if you're doing what you're supposed to up front. Like, if it's just the linebackers, you make a few more plays this. You get off the field a little more regularly than they were here through much of the game. So here's the last one I wanted to look at. Yeah. So it's better. But again, this is a tight end shoving your defensive end into the pile.
BYU, he's trying to send a message here in the beginning.
He's just driving. Kendall Dolby does a nice job to cut this off before it can really become a problem. Um, but again, let's look at the rest of it.
He's trying to send
You've got Lacey here, Terry here. Now,
the
part of
message
it
here in the
is
beginning of the
it's a good call.
second half.
Terry really doesn't do a bad job. He doesn't deserve to be singled out there. He
Look at
fights
all we
through
have
his
here at
block,
BYU.
and
He's trying to send a message here in the beginning
the tight end here gets a 2-for-1. He takes out two guys
second half.
just by shoving
Robbins
Ethan
looking for the back,
Downs
then straight
out of
ahead.
his position. Again, that stuff can't happen. It really hasn't. That's why I can't. I'm not going to make a mountain out of this game because it just looks like a poor performance. And even Kansas and Oklahoma State, like there were problems, but they were different problems. So we'll see where this goes and what it leads to next year. But this just all looks so out of character. I mean, and I thought Brent talked about it. This was as bad as they've been with run fits and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see where this goes. But I just kind of wanted to highlight some plays and say you can't just pin this on the linebackers. That's not what it is.